Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
Just like the intro say, you know where it's at. We got to run it back. Live Wire Sports and Entertainment. Let's go. Hey, man, all I can say, Caitlin Clark, another one. More awards she racks up, the more her shelf is going to be big. Man, if the week, days, or months can't even get any bigger for Caitlin Elizabeth Clark, I don't even know what to say, man. Caitlin Clark been named AP Female Athlete of the Year following her impact on women's sports. Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp. You're not doing Juju or Paige any favors or hyping them up to have them to be talked about just as well as talked about. Yeah, they had matchups, and Juju them had a little matchup in over the weekend, break record numbers for this year, second most on Fox. Hey, but that's all fine and good. But you can't keep them in the same breath as Caitlin. Caitlin is here. They right here. That gap is going to continue to rise. You know why? Her impact on women's sports. Again, her impact on women's sports. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't listen to a lot of hardcore rap, female raps these days, but she never gave up. So guess what? Let her cook. Man, the thing about it is, can Caitlin Clark pull a golf terminology of a grand slam? Now that would be something special. She just been named Times Athlete of the Year, Sports Journal Business of the Year, AP Athlete of the Year. All that's left is Sports Illustrated, which Sports Illustrated gave Aja Wilson Player of the Year. 2 separate awards. So it's only fitting that Sports Illustrator, which I think theirs don't come out until January, if Caitlin hits that grand slam, then I would do a video of all of them. But I was going to do a video of these 3 awards, but I'm just going to talk about them in general. But I would do a video if she hits that grand slam of Sports Illustrator. Then I will put them all together and do a video. Now, I will go to the article real quick because they break down a lot of things. The AP article states that Caitlin Clark's rise to profile of women's basketball to an unprecedented level in both college ranks and the WNBA. And Tuesday, she was named AP Athlete of the Year for her impact on and off the court of women's sports. And we already went over this yesterday in a separate video, because now that the league is talking about scheduling her, the Fever, who nowadays is dubbing America's team, to go out and play overseas. And just think about this. She's only the 4th woman in the W to receive this honor. Rebecca Lobo, Cheryl Swoops, and Candace Parker, who did it twice. I'm going to say this, and I'm gonna put it on record. She's going to break Candace Parker's record. She's going to get this award probably about 3 or 4 times, because her impact is going to elevate her that high. She's probably going to be the first back-to-back person to win it back-to-back, because she's going to win it next year. Because once the season starts, her impact, what she's going to do in the league, probably records, all kind of stuff that she's going to be doing, and then off the field, off the court as well, is going to impact sports to another level. And think about this: if the WNBA was smart They will go ahead right now and say, hey, call overseas. Hey, we got a marquee game that we need to bring over. You bring Caitlin Clark over there. Like I said in my last video yesterday, you can go and check it out. They need to do it twice in 1 year. Do like the NFL. They take the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars has played overseas in London twice in the season. You do Caitlin Clark one game in the summer, one in the fall, right after All-Star break. Not right after All-Star break, but probably a couple of weeks after All-Star break. Then you will have that super gravitational pull, because then guess what? The following year, everybody overseas is going to be bidding for her games. You put her games over there because trust me, you put a game over there that the Fever wins, or you could put a marquee matchup. It don't matter. It could be Angel Reese. It could be the Liberty. Nobody mentioned, Angel Wilson. Nobody wants to see her anyway. I think it's something that's going to be phenomenal. Paige, you know what I'm saying? So you got 3 games that you could put her over there: the Angel Reese, the Paige, or the Liberty. One of them games you can have one before, especially Chicago. They play Chicago probably like in July thing. You can have one of them games over there. You could probably have Paige over there. Then the second half of the season, you could do an Angel Reese or Liberty game over there. So there's ways to do this, and that's going to make, like I said, we already use the terminology with Caitlin Clark when it comes down to her, who she is. Phenomenal, one-on-one, the Michael Jordan of the WNBA, and if you think about this, as soon as the Fever start winning playoff games and they win championships, she's going to be untouchable, man. She's going to be untouchable. And that's why people have to understand what comes with great success comes with pure hate. And you see it. And that's all part of the game. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that at the end of the day, Caitlin Clark and the Fever is going to be now, even though the Cowboys used to win back in the days, I think the Fever, to me, I think the Indiana Fever is more a line of like Tom Brady and the Patriots, how they was. They had a 20-year run. Now, I don't expect for the Fever to have a 10-year, 20-year run. If Caitlin Clark was to play till she about 40, and I don't know what her workout would be from here to now. But if she does that and wins 5 titles and make a hell of a run, win the most WNBA championships than anybody, I think Maya Moore have 4. Other teams have, or whoever have 4. But I mean, it's possible. You don't know. I mean, with today medicine and whatever's goes on, hey, it happens. But nevertheless, man, I think Caitlin Clark is, she's undeniably a presence that's being felt throughout sports, men and women. And when you notice that the NBA viewership is going down, and you see what's going on in college now, and then you look at what Caitlin Clark is doing off the court, she even hasn't touched the court yet. That's going to be the different thing. That's going to be the scary thing that we're going to have to look at. So the article goes on to say, after leading Iowa to a national championship game, Clark was the top pick in the WNBA draft as expected, and went on to win Rookie of the Year honors in the league. Fans packed a sold-out arena, and millions of television viewership turned into a follow her journey. Clark exploits far from reaching, casting a light on other women's sports and leagues along the way. A group of 74 sports journalists from the Associated Press and its members voted the award. Clark received 35 votes out of that 74, outvoting Olympic medalist Simone Biles, who had 25, and boxer Amin Kafsif was third, getting a vote. And like I said, Caitlin Clark is the only fourth women's basketball player to ever receive this award for Female Athlete of the Year since it was presented in 1931. Just think about that. Think about that for a minute. This award was out since 1931, and there's only been four WNBA women. Four? Cheryl Swoops in 93, Rebecca Lobo in 95, Candace Parker in 2008 and 2021. Donna Taurasi didn't do this. Asia Wilson didn't do this. Breonna Stewart didn't do this. So it's going to show you how the league has lacked its popularity when it comes to showcasing these women, because for all the top names that ever been in the league, Maya Moore is not even on this list. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Tamika Catchings is not on here. So that just goes to show you how the WNBA does not do a good job of promoting its players. For a list like this to be that small, it says something. It says something. And Caitlin Clark is one of four of these women on this list, and somebody that's probably gonna win this award multiple times. So this is what Caitlin Clark had to say about the award. I grew up as a fan of Candace Parker, and people who came before me, and to be honored in this way, it's a very special, and I'm thankful. Caitlin also went on to say in a phone interview, it was great. It was a great year for women's basketball and in sports in general, women's sports in general. Now, also Shohei Ohtani, he won AP Athlete of the Year because you guess why? He got traded to the Dodgers, and he also dang it. He's also won a World Series. Now Clark broke the NCAA division career scoring record for both men and women, finishing her career with 3,951 points while guiding Iowa into two consecutive championship games. I wish she had won them. That would have been whew. After her Hawkeyes lost to South Carolina for the title game, Gamecocks coach Dawn Staley took to the mic during her celebration and say, I want to personally thank Caitlin Clark for uplifting our sport. For all the success Caitlin has had its attention. And Dawn Staley also said Caitlin was one of the GOATs. So, hey. So, like I said, what comes with all attention, it comes with toxicity from her and other players online because of jealousy. That's all it is. It's pure jealousy, pure hatred, whatever the case. Now, Rebecca Lobo, who's been a huge Caitlin Clark supporter, she never wavers. She never goes back and forth. She never adds too much to the conversation when it's talking specifically about Caitlin Clark, like some of her other counterparts does. You know, when you talk about Caitlin Clark, you got to add Angel Reese. When you talk about Caitlin Clark, you got to add Paige. When you talk about Caitlin Clark, you got to add Juju. When you talk about Caitlin Clark, you got to add Asia Wilson. Just talk Caitlin Clark. When you talk about the other athletes, you ain't got to put Caitlin Clark in there. Well, we already know you, but you can't pair what they do to what Caitlin Clark is doing. It doesn't. It's not apples and oranges, folks. So, but like I said, Rebecca Lobo has always been a true supporter of Caitlin Clark, calling her games, interviewing her, talking to her, or whatever the case. And Rebecca Lobo went on to say she has been impressed the way the 22-year-old Clark has handled the pressure and attention that came her way. I would say she navigated it almost flawlessly. She hasn't had a big misstep or misspeak at any time. Your understanding constantly at time you're under constant scrutiny, Rebecca said. She seems to say and do all the right things. That's just incredible at the time when it's constant attention and scrutiny. She has not done anything to tarnish this and sort of her mild persona she has. Clark had handled the praise and the backlash during heat competition, and it was hard for her to appreciate just what she has been able to accomplish over the past year. And that's another important thing about this whole situation. All the success that Caitlin Clark has had, she has not had a chance to relish in it because there was always somebody scrutinizing her, saying she didn't deserve this, why we couldn't celebrate other athletes, who accomplished more than her or whatever the case might be, but they have not even moved the needle to an inch. You know what I'm saying? And just not allowing Caitlin Clark just to say, hey, let me enjoy my success. But she always had to have to defend herself when it came to scrutiny and stuff like that. And that's sad. So, but anyway, um, she also said that I'm thankful for what people got to do with it. Clark said a year ago, I was still in the early part of my senior year in college, how fast things has changed, and now that I get to see how great a college season it was. So that's pretty good. And then Tyrese Haliburton also chimed in. He said, you'll be remiss not to acknowledge how crazy her fan base is and the eyes that she gets when everything she does, said Indiana Fever Tyrese Haliburton, who often spotted courtside at Indiana Fever games. He said it's a different type of popularity. She's not She's one of the most popular athletes in the world, not just in women's sports anymore. And that's true. Caitlin Clark's popularity is probably to overshadow LeBron's and Steph Curry's because of what she's able to do. You imagine if Caitlin Clark and Sabrina Ionescu was to team up to go into the NBA All-Star game and how much ratings and how much popularity it'd be because everybody's going to pack that arena just to see Caitlin Clark, just to see what she does. And if her and Sabrina was to pull it off and beat Stephen and Clay, that's going to even put women's sports even in another juncture because you got two of the most sharp shooters there is in there. But anyway, but there's more to the article. I just don't want to get too deep into it, and I'll pin it in the description in my bite and in this video. But nonetheless, man, it's time to really start celebrating Caitlin Clark and for what she has done, what she has really done for women's basketball, college and pro, and outside of women's sports. Because you think about this, you had Simone Biles showing up to a game last year. They took pictures with her. They wanted to support her. You had her and at the pro-ams. You had her out there doing things like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So people are wanting a piece of her because of how she carried herself, how she speaks, how she talks, how she, able to be appreciate the women's sport. She's a fan of women's sports. Caitlin Clark played soccer. Soccer players love her. You got golf players loving her. Hell, you got baseball players loving her. So my thing is this is at the end of the day, like I said, she's beyond one-on-one. She's man, you gotta say it. She's gonna be universally known all over the world when it's all said and done. Her popularity is right there, but it's about to hit a catastrophic peak that there will never be another women's basketball college or pro to ever reach. And that's just facts, man. That's just facts. You could push who you want to push, but they're not gonna be able to carry that torch like Caitlin. I'm sorry, they're just not. But like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell anytime I drop a hardcore video. Until the next episode, I'm out. Peace.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats, you know that we gotta run it back. Whether on the field or the court, you know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.